When is it too late in the process to actually heal? Is there a point that it's too late?
Oh, wow. What a great question. Okay. So now when you say too late, all right, let's look at it this way. Okay. All deaths are suicides. That's what I said. Okay. What does that mean? Okay. So I don't want to die. It's not suicide. Yes. Okay. I'm not talking about what your ego mind is capable of accessing. The ego mind doesn't know anything. It doesn't know anything. Okay. The I am, the self with the capital S, avails itself of certain exit points or termination junctures when it feels that it's done enough in this incarnation, when it's experienced, learned, and evolved enough through this single incarnation, it will avail itself of its next termination point, what we call so-called death. So when you ask me, is it ever too late? It's only too late when we've decided it's time to go. Because once that decision is made, it's our guides and helpers and our guardian angels that actually turn our body off. And I don't think humanity really understands that. So when let's say for most of us, this is all going to happen when we're asleep and we have no conscious understanding of anything that just occurred. We wake up and we have no idea what happened in the last 8 hours or so. So this is typically when the true self, the I am, is speaking with and getting counsel from our guides and helpers, our guardian angels, our guides and helpers. They're still holding our life plan. They're still reading the script. We come down here, we agree to forget the whole thing, right? So we confer with them. If we feel and they feel that we have done enough in this incarnation, we'll avail ourselves. We will take the next termination point and they will assist in turning our body off. I would say it's really only at that point where it becomes official, but that's because we decided it. Now, we're so disconnected from our own higher mind that we don't access that, and the ego mind just wants to stay alive. So the ego mind is going to say, I would never choose that. I would keep fighting. I don't want to go. This and that. Well, you're not your ego mind. The ego mind doesn't know anything. So we actually choose it, and it's only too late when we've chosen our exit point.
That was really good. A ton of questions after that one. But is healing or non-healing a decision? Just like, is it a decision to get sick in the first place?
Yeah. This is, again, none of this is accessible through the finite egoic mind, which is just, it's the matrix itself, right? It's just all misinformation, disinformation, half truths. It has nothing to do with what is. Nothing to do with what is. Ask me that question again, Justin.
Yeah, healing or not healing, is it a decision? Like, just like the decision you said for it all to be over with?
Yeah, both. I'll use myself as an example. I was on my life plan even when I was getting incredibly sick and became paralyzed. So that was a choice, and I was actually following my life plan so I could bring myself onto the brink of death and the total destruction of the body, and then transcend all of it and put myself back together. So that is a choice. Now, I've worked with, too many people to count. I kind of know right away. And I've told people, but said, no, RJ, can you work with me on healing and do a healing on me? Nope. Why would you say, RJ, you of all people, I can't believe. And I've just said to people, you're not ready to be healed. You don't want to heal. You are not ready. You are too attached to whatever disharmonious thought patterns that have created your ill health. There's too deep an identification, and you are not ready to let that go. You're not. And then, of course, the opposite of that is true. People have come to me that literally they're on their deathbed, and I mean literally on their deathbed, and they were ready to heal. They were ready to let go. They were ready to move past that. And then I work with them, and they match the frequency that I'm emanating, and that clears out the path, and then they reclaim themselves because they're ready to move past it. So everything is a choice. Everything is a choice. The issue, Justin, is that our finite egoic mind doesn't have access to what created itself, and therefore it doesn't really understand what's driving it. So it doesn't really understand to the point of choice and no choice. It thinks its choices are Democrat or Republican. Those are not choices. That's the illusion of choice, right? So we kind of operate in the same way. We don't realize what's really driving everything. We need to understand what gives birth to beginnings and endings. All incarnations have a beginning and an ending. It's what gives birth, Etch-a-Sketch. It's what gives birth to beginning and endings that we must access. And once we do that, our true magic will be available to all of us. And we will soon then realize that everything, and I mean everything, is literally a choice.